What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for this meal today. I have a Jersey Mike's Mukbang. I have a BLT here. I got the giant one. I didn't know how big it was going to be. I just said, why not? Let's do it. So I don't know. I'm going to do my best to eat this whole sandwich. I'm pretty hungry. On it, you know, you got your standard bacon, lettuce, tomato. I got a little bit of mayo, a little bit of oil, and some pickles. In addition to that, salt and vinegar chips. And my favorite thing to get from Jersey Mike's is a root beer. I'm also going to be talking about the new movie, Dr. Sleep, the sequel to The Shining, after I eat some of this food first. Let's dig into this sandwich. It's like a close look in there for what you got. You got a little bit of everything. Just like a good solid sandwich. And yes, this is one sandwich that I'm okay with, the tomato one. It doesn't tend to slide like it does when I get it with a burger. Hope y'all are having a great start to your weekend. Today is Saturday. It is gorgeous out where I am. Hope it's beautiful where you are as well. But yeah, just hope you're having a great start to your weekend, enjoying this nice cool weather. It's getting very cold out there. Very cold. But I enjoy it. My girl's birthday was yesterday. We had a wonderful day. Just like you should do on your birthday, you do things you want to do. Root beer's good. Well, maybe I was wrong. Is that tomato side now? Maybe I was wrong. Nah, Pickle, you're not getting away. My only issue with Jersey Mike's is this, and it could go either way. They cut through the bread completely. There's no like that little crutch to hold everything in. Now you get more food in there, you get more filling in the sandwich, but you also have things moving around a little bit more than they usually do. But, you know, give and take. I like that they have their own style and they do that. We got a couple more bites of this and I'm gonna talk about Dr. Sleep. Salt and vinegar. Trying to say this, in my opinion, salt and vinegar is the best chip with like a sub type sandwich. Any sub type sandwich, you get an Italian, a meatball, a BLT, roast beef, turkey, just like a turkey and cheese, whatever. Salt and vinegar has always been my go-to. I've had others, but salt and vinegar sets the tone. Alright, so Dr. Sleep is the movie I'll be reviewing today. It's directed by Mike Flanagan, stars Ewan McGregor. It is a sequel to The Shining. Stephen King wrote both books. Now, what's weird with this is Stephen King, the Shining that we all know and love was directed by Stanley Kubrick. There was also a miniseries one that Stephen King was behind. Nobody likes it. And I think the studio knew that going in. Stephen King has notoriously not liked Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining, the one we all know and love with Jack Nicholson. Excuse me. Stephen King doesn't like that book. Or excuse me, not that book. It's his book. He doesn't like that adaptation, that movie. The reason he doesn't like it is Stanley Kubrick went off and did his own vision. He basically took the framework of Stephen King's story and then made it his own. He kind of got rid of a lot of little stuff in there that Stephen King was probably bothered by, namely the ending. We're gonna do. But my guess is, I'll get into the movie in just a second, but just wanted to get a little backstory. My guess is the studio went to Stephen King and said, listen, we want to make the sequel to this book. We want to do Dr. Sleep. However, we have to do it. We have to be able to use Stanley Kubrick's version of The Shining to sell it because that movie is immensely popular. And Stephen King just said, okay, he's getting probably getting a fat check off the adaptation. And guys, anybody who's watched the channel knows I like The Shining. It's a favorite film of mine, favorite horror film. Not my favorite horror film, but favorite film in general. It's just an amazing movie. I love it. And I'm also against sequels. So this movie has some things working against it, coming from my angle. I saw the trailers. I was like, I can't deny it. That trailer looked good. That looks like a good story. It is a logical follow-up and story to The Shining. There's gonna be some light spoilers on The Shining. Just a heads up, I have to kind of say some things to get in Dr. Sleep. I'm not going to spoil Dr. Sleep though, you don't have to worry about that. So Danny and his mom Wendy survived the near massacre at the Overlook Hotel. And this movie follows up directly after that. They have moved to Florida, basically to get away from the snow. And Danny is still dealing with his ability to shine. It's pretty much almost telekinesis. Think Professor Xavier in the X-Men, but on a more ghostly, dark level. That's what Danny has the ability to do. And Danny is dealing with visions. He's seeing stuff in his own house now. However, he's still in contact via The Shining with Halloran, the cook from The Shining. So he's still in contact with him. The movie does a really good job at following up with the actors and getting actors that kind of look like Wendy and Danny as best they could. Obviously, you can't get Shelley Duvall and Jack Nicholson. And the original actor, I believe his name is Danny Lloyd, that played those three characters. But they did a good job. Once Danny is able to get past his visions of what happened at the hotel, he's able to kind of move on with his life, but he kind of goes down the same path as his dad, and naturally, he's not like the most noble human being. He drinks a lot, so he inherited some of that from his father, and naturally, having your father trying to kill you wouldn't help with moving on with your life into adulthood. Whatever. So the villain in this movie her name is Rose the Hat. So Rose the Hat has a cult. It's this group of people, and they're kind of like vampires, only they don't thrive off of blood. They thrive off of people who can shine and their ability to shine, and they have a different word for it. They call it like steam. There's a girl who has great shining ability, and she reaches out to Danny via shining. They like the people who can shine. They can just basically put themselves where that person is. Sometimes where it appears to be a physical form, words, or like writing a message down on something. So without ruining the movie, Rose the Hat and her cult naturally have a showdown with Danny and Abra. They do this because naturally those two people have a great ability to shine, and especially Abra. So the third act of this movie, probably about the last, I would say about an hour, 45 minutes to an hour of the movie, is right in your face. Good action, good tension, good drama. The stage is perfect. I absolutely recommend this movie. If you have seen The Shining, you definitely have to watch this movie if you like The Shining. If you don't like The Shining, then maybe you don't want to see this. You might not get it. And that's okay. This movie definitely isn't for everybody, this type of thing. But you're dealing with like telekinesis. You're dealing with terrible people. All the acting in the movie is great. The atmosphere is perfect and totally believable. Danny is basically fake. He thinks he can just run away from being the Shining, but he realizes he has to do for somebody else what was done for him to help him out, more or less. Good sandwich. Now, some things I really liked about the movie. There's one thing I really liked, but there's something that's the same thing I didn't like. They did a lot of nods to the first film. They used a lot of imagery from the first film. Now, in using the imagery and things from the first film, I feel like they kind of overdid it a little bit. I think it was a little bit too much. Kind of have your own. I know it's a sequel to that story, but still, I appreciate if you have a little bit of your own identity. Now, there's some Easter eggs in there. There's ones that are obvious. And then there's some not so obvious ones, so that stuff is fun. The way they made the hotel look looks absolutely fantastic. You see the hotel in the beginning of the movie when it follows up, because it uses like, okay, this is what happened, this is where he is. And there's some overuse of the score. So like anytime there's pending drama or tension, they have like, there's like a heart thumping score. A little bit overdone. But, you know, that's a minor quibble. The movie kept me engaged for the full 2.5 hours. Ewan McGregor is great. The girl that played Abra is great. Rose the Hat is an underrated villain, but she's a good villain. She has good villain energy. I'll just say that. Yeah, so I would definitely say go see this movie. Danny and Abra are a great team. Rose the Hat and her crew, or whatever you want to call them, are great villains. The atmosphere is great. Definitely go check out Dr. Sleep. Guys, thank you for joining me for this meal today, this mukbang, this BLT sub from Jersey Mike's. I'm going to wrap the rest of that up and have that later for dinner. But thank you guys again for your time and listening to my review on Dr. Sleep. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hope you take care and be well. Have a great rest of your weekend.